You know what? We'll talk about that more next week when we get into the NFL show and things like that. We'll keep it college football for now, but I've been seeing that in the news as well too. So, Oklahoma, number 16 in the nation right now, 3-0. You got Cincinnati, who's 2-1, and this is a Big 12 conference matchup. You know, Cincinnati is over here um, walking into a power conference once again. They haven't been in a power conference situation since they were in the Big East, and we all know it's been some years, it's been a decade or so, but Cincinnati was never a really mid-major team. They were always in power conferences and things like that, and you know they had some good reunions this year with Pittsburgh and West Virginia and all that good stuff, and they were able to get some good wins, and then they get popped last week by Miami of Ohio. But Miami of Ohio, you guys already know. I think I picked Miami of Ohio to win their division this year, and to win possibly the MAC this year. I think possibly I went with Ohio, but I said Miami of Ohio was going to be a good team this year. And I wasn't surprised that they beat Cincinnati because they are a good team. And you can never sleep on that type of game because those teams are actual rivals. A lot of people will never really know that unless they really know college football. But Miami of Ohio and Cincinnati's rivalry goes back 100 and some odd, 20 some odd years because all these teams in the state of Ohio have played each other for 100 some odd years, Jeff. So, you know, that's how it goes. And Cincinnati have been having their way with they had their way with Miami of Ohio for some time, and Miami of Ohio had themselves come to Jesus moment and won the game. It's that simple. But Oklahoma comes in here confident, cocky, but now they have a brand new buddy on the block. But the thing is, Oklahoma has their moving trucks out because they're going to the SEC. But at the end of the day, they still got to clean up the streets, right, Jeff? So Cincinnati's up first. And this would be probably to me the toughest game that you could hand to Oklahoma, a team that's leaving your conference at the end of the year. And do they really have the motivation to win the conference at the end of the year? I think Texas is more motivated to win this conference than Oklahoma. Oklahoma knows how to be on the top of the mountaintop. They're just trying to get to the SEC nice and clear. And, they're not worried about it. They've already conquered the Big 12. But Cincinnati is the type of team that they're going to shake up the Big 12 this year. I don't care what anybody says. You can't look at them as an AAC team. They played in the Final Four. Come on. So they have to get their respect. And I think that Cincinnati comes into this game and they make this game a lot closer than a lot of people assume it's going to be. And they possibly get the home field advantage upset, in my opinion, because it's totally right there for the taking. Come on, man. Oklahoma went in there and lost to a Kansas team. I know Kansas is a much better team than they were before, but you still just always say Kansas. And they had a rough time last year with teams that they should have beat. And Cincinnati was better than those teams. I know it's a new Cincinnati, but Cincinnati still is motivated after losing a game they should have won last week. So I love the plus 14.5. Jeff, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you can get caught peaking, which they did, unfortunately. And then comes an Oklahoma team that's, like a slot machine at the Bellagio on the Vegas Strip here, scoring, and more scoring. The old Oklahoma that we know of. My true number was a 13 with a 60, now down to a 57.5 with a 14 at circa 14.5 across the Vegas Strip everywhere else. I too like the points here. I think Cincinnati will keep it close or closer than 2 touchdowns. I think Cincy can get to that 20 number without blinking. Again, do they get to 23 or 24, which will be the magical number, trying to keep Oklahoma also under that 30 points. So I'm going to grab the points here as well. I'm also looking towards the Cincinnati team total, which, if my math is correct, should be in that 23 range. Let me see, 23, 33. That's at 56. Yeah, so you're probably going to have to get Cincinnati at the over 21.5 to 23 range to cover, never mind the team total, Pops.
All right, I love it, and I just like this matchup a lot for Cincinnati because they prepared themselves for a game like this. always playing teams that were in power conferences, who were top flight teams in, non-conference play. So I feel like they're more than ready for this, and this is why they made that big jump to the Big 12 as well too.